Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer and welcome to a new playthrough video. For this is going to be the pre-rolls for 5 Parsecs from Home. This is for campaign turn number 8. So this will be the 8th battle report coming up after this video. But in this video, I'm going to roll up what's going on with the crew and roll up the job opportunities I have and things like that. Now, one of the problems I have misplaced my book. But thankfully, I have it on my tablet here, so I may have to flip through some pages and stuff, but if you'll just bear with me, I'm going to get this going, and it may be a little longer video than normal. All right, so the first thing we need to do is, are we fleeing an invasion? No, so step 1 is done. Now we have to decide whether we are going to travel. Well, here's the thing. I have a persistent Patron now on Bison 6 or 7. I'm on Bison 6, I believe. And I think I'm going to stay I keep saying I'm going to stay one more time. But this planet, I do have a rival on it. So there is a chance that I may have to fight a rival battle. But we'll get to that in just a minute. So I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay one more time. I've got enough to pay off the ship debt. I've got 17 credits and I owe 4. So when I get there, I'm paying this thing off, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. So where am I going to travel? No, I don't have to pay the credits for traveling. So there's no Starship travel event. There's no New World event. And let's see. The next step is upkeep and ship repairs. So this is on page 76 if you're following along. All right, for upkeep and ship repairs, it's 1 credit for 4 to 6 crew. I have 8 crew, so it's plus 1 additional credit for every member past 6. So I am going to be down 3 credits for upkeep. All right, ship debt. I owe 4, so I'm going to go ahead and pay off my debt. That is zeroed out. I know I owe no more on my ship. I also have no ship repairs. Haven't really done any traveling that would require that, so that's all good. Pay for medical care. Don't have to do that. Everybody's out of sick bay. And now we're going to assign crew tasks. So I have 8 healthy crew members. Nobody's in the infirmary. So out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there are 8 different tasks that I can perform. I am going to do find a patron. Why? Because I already have one who will give me a job. But if I find a second one, now I get 2 potential jobs. Plus, there's always that risk of a rival fight. Train, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to look at the XP. Trade, definitely. No recruiting. Definitely explore. You always find some interesting stuff there. Track, which is look for your rival to do a showdown. Not doing that. I don't need to do any repairs. And decoy, definitely, which prevents or sort of helps me to avoid my rivals. So let's see. Train, I went ahead and leveled up everybody I could. In terms of XP, Freak has 6, and 7 could get him something. I can't remember what. I think it's plus 1 combat or something. But I think for now, I've got it. If I don't train, I've got 4 things and 8 people to assign. That's pretty good. I think I'm going to skip the training. For find a patron, I'm going to do Captain and Vey. For trade, I'm going to send 6 and Droon. For explore, I'm going to send Huala and Freak. And it doesn't really matter who you assign. Now, it does matter if you're doing like a repair, because some of your crew members might have better scores that affect repairs. But otherwise, not really. And then decoy, I'm going to do Blue Eyes and Surge. And that ought to help me hopefully avoid. All right, so let's see. Under find a patron. To find a patron, you roll a d6. And you add the number of crew who are looking. So I'm going to add plus 2 to this. If the crew has an old patron among their contacts, each patron adds plus 1 to the roll. So I do have 1 patron. After rolling, you may opt to spend credits. So I've got a +3 modifier, and it says if your result is 5 or higher, you found a patron. If it's 6 or higher, you found 2 and would choose either job. So let's roll this. That's cockeyed. Technically, it should have been a 5, but let's roll it again. I rolled a 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. So I found 2 patrons. So I'm gonna. That's awesome. So I've got 3 patrons who are gonna give me jobs, and that's gonna be awesome because then I can choose the best one. All right, not doing training. Trade, page 79. I'm gonna do 2 trades. So trade 1 and trade 2. So let's go to the trade table. This one is a D100, and yes, I'm using D10s. There was one video where I was using D8s. I would have never rolled anything above, what, 88? Or, yeah. So let's roll this. Green is always high, 41. 41 is a trade good. A trade good. And it says, when you arrive on a new planet, you may roll a d6 to see how many credits the good will sell for. You can wait as long as you like, but if you ever roll a 1, they perish. So I think I have some additional trade goods in my hold. Let's see. I keep a record of everything I have. Maybe not. I thought I did. Trade goods. No, apparently I do not. So I've got some trade goods, which is actually which is cool because I'm hoping to travel to a new planet on my next turn. And let's roll for the second crew member, and that is a 25, which is a local map. If you receive a quest on this or the following world, you may immediately add 1 rumor. Well, I've already got a quest, so that doesn't really help me. So that was no good. Let's see, what is next? Explore. Each crew member rolls once on the exploration table, page 80. So let's go to page 80. Here's the exploration table. Once again, D100. So let me do this. Explore 1 and Explore 2. All right. First one is a 32. 32 is get yourself noticed. If you have rivals, select one at random. You will have to fight them this campaign turn. Well, that's not happening because I am going to use a story point. I'm going to -1 story to re-roll that, and I have to use whatever comes up. That's a 73, which is earn +3 credits if you do an opportunity mission. Well, that stinks because I've got 3 patrons jobs. Patron jobs are different than opportunity jobs. All right, and my next explore is 35. You hear a tip. You may opt to automatically track down a rival to fight a campaign. Nope. Don't want to be fighting those rivals. First off, my rivals are pretty strong guys. They've got high combat, low morale rolls, or good morale. It's not something I want to do this turn. I think when I leave the planet, there's a chance I may have to fight them. I'll have to look at the rules there, but not this time. Now, decoy. Here's the one that will matter. Decoy. When rolling to see if rivals track you down, you add +1 for each crew member sent. So I'm going to add 2. And I'm trying to remember when that is. When rolling to see if rivals track you down, okay, so that's coming up. All right, so let's get to it. Determine the job offers. Where is it that I do the rivals? Oh, yeah, check for rivals. First, you must check that your rivals give up the opportunity to choose your battle. Tally up the number of rivals you have. I have 1. And roll a d6. If the roll is equal to or lower than the number of rivals, one of them has tracked you down. Well, I'm automatically adding 2 to the roll, so I cannot roll lower than if it's equal or lower. So I only have 1. So there's no way. I rolled a 6. So there's no way that I have to fight the rivals this turn. All right, that's good. Now, let's go back and do the jobs. All right. So I have 3 patron jobs. This is awesome. Okay. Trades, exploration, and determine the job offer. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go across and do, like, for instance, the type. I'm gonna write it here, and then I'll roll 3 times for that, and 3 times for danger pay, and so on and so on. So I just fill out this whole chart. So the first You roll a d10. First one is a 5, which is government, and it says sector government. Sorry, there's a difference between local and sector. Second one is 7, which is wealthy individual. And the third one is 10, which is secretive group. And it says add +1 to the roll for the timetable. All right. Danger pay. Let's do danger pay. Next, roll determined. All right, so across the board, first one is a 3, which is +1 danger pay. +1 credit danger pay. Second one is 7, which is +2. And the third one is 2, which is +1. All right, now time frame. If I remember right, this one, the secretive group, I add +1 to the roll. All right, so first one is a 9, which is this or following 2 turns. All right, so this or next 2 turns. That's pretty good. If it's a really good job, I could hold on to it. Next one is a 6, which is this or next. So far, all my patrons are giving me some room. And then this one, I add +1 to the roll, so that becomes a 6, which is this or next. So if I get, let's say I get 2 jobs, or even all 3, I could do all 3 if they turn out to be really good jobs. I may just stick around on this planet. We'll see. Especially with the benefits. Let's see what the benefits are. All right. Benefits. So the benefits, it depends on the type of patron. So for a government sector, it's an 8 or higher. I rolled a 9, so there are benefits. The next one is a wealthy individual, which is a 5 or higher, so there's no benefits. None. And the third one is secretive group, which is 8 or higher, and I rolled a 2, so there are none on that as well. Now, for the benefits roll, it's a D10. So roll a D10. It is a 1. So this benefit would be 1 free roll on the loot table. And it says benefits are paid out only if the mission is a success. So I can't get that unless it is a success. All right, hazards. Here we go. Were there any hazards? Did I not do that? Oh, I didn't do hazards. Yeah. So let's do hazards next. Hazards for a sector is an 8 or higher. That's a 4, so there are none. For a wealthy individual, it is a 8 or higher. None. And for a secretive group, it is 5 or higher. And it's an 8, so there are hazards. So there's 1 hazard. So I got to roll on the hazard chart for that. And that is a 10, which is private transport. I don't know what that means. If you have rivals, they cannot track you this campaign turn. Well, okay, that's good. So that's really good. All right, let's go back. Now there are conditions. Conditions for a sector is 8 or higher. There's none. For a wealthy, it is 8 or higher. None. And for a secretive group, it is 8 or higher. None. All right, so no conditions on these jobs. Let's keep going. Assign equipment, already done that. Resolve any rumors. You may find rumors. If you are not currently on a quest, roll a d6. If this roll is equal or below the number of rumors, remove all rumors. You have now received a quest, which I already did. I have a quest. I am on a quest. Okay. Until the quest is resolved. I haven't done any quest battles. That's the issue. It may not be a big deal. Choose your battle. All right, so there's no rival fight this turn. That's fine. Don't have to worry about that. All right. So I've got 1, 2, 3. These 2 have to be done this turn or next. This one can be done this one or next. This one's got +2 travel, +2 danger pay, but no benefits, no conditions, nothing. This one has +1 credit, but I also get an extra roll on the loot table, which is nice. There are no hazards or conditions. The problem is, if I do this one first, I'll only be able to do one of these, because the next means that the next turn after that they lose. So the +2 danger pay sounds good, but that loot roll is the way I'm going to go. So I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do the government sector, +1 credit pay, danger pay, and 1 on the loot table. All right, so it is an opportunity/patron, but this is a patron job, not an opportunity job. They're not the same. You roll a D100 to see what type of deployment condition. All right, that is a 46, which is poor visibility. All right, so this is deployment. Poor visibility. It says maximum is 1d6 + 8. All right, let's roll a d6. 3 + 8 is 11 inches max. That's not good for my gunners. They're all gunners, but man, 11 inches. That means you got to get them in close. All right, notable sights. Let's try this one. This is also a D100. That is a 40, which is priority target. I like this one, because you get extra money if you defeat one particular guy. Select a random enemy, +1 tough, and if you slay him, you get one D3 credit. So that's a 1, so it's just +1 credit. +1 credit if I defeat them. All right, that'll work. Determine the objective. Here we go. It is a patron mission, so roll a d10. That is a 6, which is secure. Secure is the objective. And secure, no, I don't know if I've done a secure. Let's see. Secure says you must end 2 consecutive rounds with crew within 2 inches of the center of the table. A crew member with an enemy within 6 inches of them does not count. Once this is achieved, you'd win. If you drive off the opposition, you can complete the objective at your leisure. All right, so holding the field means running them off, but winning the objective just means holding the center of the table, any crew within 2 inches for 2 consecutive rounds with no enemies getting within 6 inches. All right, I can do that. Let's see, what else do we have? That's the objective. Rival. I'm not doing a rival. Determine the enemy. Here we go. All right. Enemy type. You come over here to page 94. I'm doing an enemy encounter with a patron. So you roll a D100. That is a 67, which is interested parties. All right, so the enemy is interested parties. Interested parties, okay. Then you go to that particular table. Interested parties is on page 99. And you roll a D100. Now with this, interested parties, you add +1 when rolling for the possibility of a unique individual. I'm not doing a quest mission, so that second bullet item doesn't matter. All right, let's roll. That is a 93. 93 is a salvage team. All right, salvage team is, the numbers is +1. Their panic is a 1 to 3. I like that. Their speed is 4. Their combat is +0. That's excellent. And their toughness is 4. That's not good. And they are AIC, which is, I can't remember what C is. Let's see if it tells me. C is, can't remember. Let's come back here. It'll tell us earlier on. C is cautious. Okay, so they are cautious. I'll have to go and read what that means. All right, so now that I know what they are, I need to roll their weapons in a minute. And their weapons, by the way, are weapons for salvage is 2B. Weapons are 2 and B. 2 for the table 2 for the random, for the normal guys, B for the uniques, lieutenants, and captains. All right, let's see what the numbers are. All right, so here's what you do. To find out how many there are, remember their numbers is +1 to the roll. So for a campaign crew of 6, you roll 2d6 and you pick the higher result. I rolled a 5 and I add 1 to that. So there are 6 in all. Six enemies. And it says that if you encounter 3 to 6, 1 will be a specialist. So there are now 5 enemies and 1 specialist. And then it further says, if you encounter 4 or more opponents, 1 non-specialist will be a lieutenant. So now there's 4 regulars and 1 lieutenant. And now you have to roll to see if there is a unique individual. You do this by rolling 2d6, and it says add 1 if there's interested parties on a subtable. And if you roll higher than a 9, there's a unique individual. I rolled a 5 plus 1 is 6, so there is no unique, which is good. The uniques are often kind of hard to kill. All right, so now we know how many there are. Let's get their weapons figured out. And to do that, you go to page 104. All right, and for the regular guys, I'm rolling on table number 2. You just roll a d6, and I rolled a 1, which is colony rifles. So the basics, the 4 basics all have a colony rifle. The specialist and the lieutenant will roll on the B table. So for the B table, you roll, all right, let's do for the specialist, got a 6, which is a rattle gun. The specialist has a rattle gun, and the lieutenant has a marksman's rifle. And I believe the lieutenant also gets a knife, if I remember right. Enemies with an aggressive, okay, they're not. Some enemies have specific role. Okay, so that's all good. Let's go back here, and let me just double check that. Lieutenants. Lieutenant will be a pack. Okay, the lieutenant, they carry a blade in addition to their normal weapon, so he gets a blade, which is good for like melee hand-to-hand combat. He also gets the lieutenant will be if the and increase their combat skill by +1. So the lieutenant is +1 combat. So all right, and I believe that is it. Let's double check. Did that. No unique. Set up the battlefield. All right, that's it. So what I'm going to do is I will transfer all of my notes here to the character sheet that will be available to download, so you can read all of my notes, see how my characters are pre-battle. The link for that character sheet or crew roster will be in the video description below. So I'm ready to go. I'm ready to take on these salvage crew guys. I've got to secure the area. There's going to be a priority target. So one of them, I roll random, is going to be a priority target. Poor visibility, so it's going to be close in. And I've got a specialist, a lieutenant, and 4 normal guys to fight. If I win this battle, I get an extra loot roll, and I think that's it. And I get +1 credit to danger pay. All right, that's it for this video. In the next 5 Parsecs video, we'll get to the table, and I'll fight this battle. Till then, everybody, take care.